Good evening, ladies and gents. Dr. Phil here. Got a whole heap of videos that are up and running at the moment. I've been slightly waylaid by the fact that I ran out of room on my memory card. It's a serious problem, I think. Probably a lot of YouTubers who use phones definitely probably have that problem. Anyway, so Opal by Democracy is coming, yes. Just had to redo a few things, and there's a few other things that are in the pipeline. I'll do a quick video here just to discuss an issue which I think really needs addressing, and that is the fact that a lot of people who make gems call themselves opal cutters, and that sounds reasonable enough, except I don't think we should. And I have no right to determine anything by anyone, but I would like people just to consider this philosophical question. I've picked this piece of opal for a very specific reason, and hopefully it's not going to fall flat on its face. But realistically, having a look at this piece of opal here, you can see that there's just a nice line of sand going through here. You can see that. I might actually use a match. It's proven itself to be quite useful. So you can see a nice line of sand going through here. You can see a chunk of, that's white potch almost, a bit sandy though. You can see the other side of that line of sand. So essentially this is identifying this as not one but two knobbies with possibly some weirdness running along here. Similarly, there's a line of sand here, a chunk of, well, that's, some people call that the white cap. So it's not, a traditional knobby. So what can be learned from this kind of thing? Well, we call ourselves opal cutters, but as a general rule, we don't cut opal, do we? We cut potch, which is a non-precious opal, I suppose. We cut sand, we cut rock, we cut anything but opal. We try and preserve the opal, so we should either call ourselves sand cutters, maybe, or possibly opal preservers, but not opal cutters. So what are we going to do here? Well, what I'm going to do in this particular instance, this is a more obvious example of what I was going for. I want us to, well, I'm going to cut through the sand. I'm literally going to go for the sandbar. I'm not going to worry too much about what the opal actually does. You can see also the sand goes through this way too. May have to cut this way, zoom, and then this way, zoom. We'll see how this goes. I will, as things develop, I will change my strategy accordingly. But let's have a look and see how things go. All right. You can see in the background the behemoth. I've got a few opals for later on. I'll do another video because there are people who want to know exactly what I use, and I'll make a video of that. But let's get cracking on this one. This poor thing is nearly dead. So that's what we're left with. On the other side. Interesting. So this bit's going, of course. I'll be cleaning that up there. I'll probably be cutting this off. I think there's a sand trail to follow there. There's also a sand trail to follow here as well. So let's see how this goes. Okay, well that's an interesting result. Let me show you. I'll even zoom it in. So every time, cutting along that sand line proved to be the right idea. I'll clean this up later, and I think the usual caveats apply. I'll try and put colour to colour and grey to grey and black to black. I might even try and get a bit more into that black potch. But it seems to me that every time you find a piece of sand, if you actually chase the sand, so to speak, cut through the sand, it seems that you get a much better result. And I'm happy to say that there were times when it felt a little bit dodged doing that, but I reckon that's the way to do it. Anyway, I'll get cleaning up on this and we'll see how this actually looks in the morning. Dr. Phil out.
A few minutes later.
Okay, I'm going to wish everybody good night with a little bit of a dilemma. Let me show you. So this is piece number 1. I'll give you the carat weight. That's the only side that's not any good. So what I'm doing is I'm doming it. Look at it. Look at how much there is. That's insane. That is the most insane piece of opal I got. And that was one of the scariest things I've ever done, because I had to cut straight through the guts of this. So a piece of sand, cut through the sand, and that's what I found. The other half is this piece. This too is borderline insane. I'm going to clean that piece up. So that's 2 pieces. And would you believe the fun doesn't stop there? Here's a tiny piece that I might be able to clean it up, might not. But here's where the fun truly begins. Oh, hang on, found another piece. This is still some fun, some minor fun at the moment. Just going through this tiny little piece. Going to try and get a point, something of a carat out of that. Right, now here's where the fun begins. Check out this guy. He's an absolute honker. See that? Not only that, you can see colour all the way through it. Just blinking at you. So here's the dilemma. I'm reasonably certain. See that line of sand? I need to cut through it. When you've got an opal like this, you try making a rational decision like that. There's a few lines of sand I still need to cut through, and it is so hard to stay the course and try for it. By the way, let's have a look at this side. There it is as well. There's no risk cutting this one. That just gives me 2 opals. But then there's a few other ones which, there's a few other chunks of sand. I am tempted to try and just grind that piece of sand away and hope it'll go away. That line I can cut through no problem. But this is an insane opal. Look at that. So wishing everybody good night. And I'm going to have to wish myself good luck, because, like, wow. With great power comes great responsibility, huh? This is a nerve-wracking opal. Good night. Dr. Phil out.
It's Dr. Phil. Like, subscribe, call your mother, be good to her.